Hi, my name's Manske, and today we'll be discussing the Haitian Revolution.
In pre-Columbian times, the natives of the island had a polytheistic religion where one might get a piercing or a tattoo on their body to show how close they were to the god.
Haiti was founded on the island of Hispaniola by Christopher Columbus on his first voyage in 1492.
While on the island of Hispaniola, other than raping and pillaging the native Taino people, he managed to spread some Roman Catholic religion, which is why 84% of Haitians today are Roman Catholic.
Upon his return to the colony, every single colonist was dead because the natives didn't take too kindly to outside visitors.
We don't take kindly to your types in here.
A trend that will continue. After the Spanish found out that there wasn't any gold on the island of Hispaniola, they pack shifted and left for the Incas where there were mountains of silver. But they still kept the colony, and its new name was Santo Domingo. Although Hispaniola never realized its true economic potential under the Spanish, it still remained as an important location as the gateway to the Caribbean. The Caribbean region provided opportunity for seafarers from Britain, France, and the Netherlands to impede Spanish trading and rob their galleons filled with gold. Aside from the Spanish interest in the colony, the French also had interest when it came to sugar. France and Spain argued over the land until 1697 when they signed the Treaty of Ryswick. The Treaty of Ryswick divided the island into the east and the west. The east, controlled by Spain, was known as Santo Domingo, while the west was controlled by France and called...
Ooh, Mr. Manske!
Yes, slightly Tanner, ethnically different me from the past?
I know what it's called. Saint Domingue!
That's right, me from the past. It's a wonder I ever got a girlfriend. Never mind, it was that smooth caramel skin. By 1789, approximately 40,000 French colonists lived on the western part of the island. For every colonist, there were at least 10 other slaves. The French would later find out that when you're on an island outnumbered by people whom you enslaved, that it really doesn't work out too well.
As a matter of fact, leading 18th century French writer Count Mirabeau had once said that Saint Domingue whites were sleeping at the foot of Vesuvius. Guillaume Reynal attacked slavery in the 1780 edition of his History of European Colonization. He also predicted a general slave revolt in the colony, saying that there were signs of the impending storm.
In fact, slaves on sugar plantations were more mistreated than any other slaves. As we know from North American slavery, there were chains, whips, and bounty hunter dentists, but in Haiti, rather than keeping them alive, it was cheaper to work them to death and buy new ones. By 1790, the French portion of the island outshone its eastern counterpart due to the production of coffee, sugar, and indigo. Saint Domingue was described as the most brutally efficient slave colony. 1/3 of all newly imported Africans died within a few years. Many slaves died quickly from the tropical diseases, and some women were suspected of infanticide and abortions to keep their children from growing up in slavery. Many French abused and raped African slaves and formed a new mixed race known as mulattoes. These mulattoes were treated as higher-class citizens and were allowed to read and write in a mixture of French and African language called Creole. In 1789, a group of die-hard French singers built some barricades, and with the help of Catwoman, they defeated the gladiator and won the French Revolution. That brings us to our open letter. But first, let's see what's in the secret compartment. Ah, that's fitting, sugar. An open letter to sugar. You are the fuel of slavery in the New World. The Haitian Revolution, world trade, and the existence of globalizing companies like Dunkin' Donuts, Coca-Cola, Hershey's, and Ghirardelli. But more importantly, you are the reason behind sugar highs, obesity, heart disease, my cavities, Halloween, Valentine's Day, diabetes, the lightness of my wallet, ethanol, Twinkies, which I cannot believe are going out of business, that silly rabbit that just can't seem to get those tricks, the bird that goes cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, the adventures of Buzz, the Honey Nut Cheerios bee, the misadventures of the leprechaun that seemingly has endless magic marshmallows, the reason I can't lose those last 5 pounds, a great companion when I'm listening to my girl T-Swizzle, and the reason for the teardrops on my guitar. Best wishes, Manske. One of the most successful black commanders was Toussaint L'Ouverture. A self-educated former slave, he led the invasion of neighboring Santo Domingo and freed the slaves on January 3rd, 1801. Having made himself pretty much master of the entire island, he didn't want to submit much power to France. In 1801, L'Ouverture issued a constitution for Saint Domingue and decreed that he would be governor for life, calling for a black autonomy and a sovereign black state. In response, Napoleon Bonaparte dispatched a large military force of French soldiers and warships to the island, led by Napoleon Bonaparte's brother-in-law, Charles Leclerc. Leclerc took over the island of Haiti, and the French tricked L'Ouverture by promising his freedom if he decided to support the French side. He gladly accepted. He was sent to jail in France, and then he died of disease. And that brings us to the thought bubble.
The French Revolution led to many changes in French society and politics, one being the Declaration of Rights of Man. Led by the National Assembly, this document, aside from listing the human rights that were given to the French populace, also declared all men equal. Racism, which was a core idea in the culture at that time, coupled with the massive demand of coffee and sugar from Europe, gave the idea of secession to white slave owners. This independence from France would have permitted slave owners to treat the slaves in an even more inferior manner. Angered by this plan, the slaves allied with the mulattoes and revolted against the whites in 1791. The revolting masses had a huge advantage over the whites, outnumbering them 10-1. By 1792, the slaves had control of over one-third of the island, finally signaling France that they were a force to be reckoned with. Fearing loss of control over Saint-Domingue, the National Assembly gave political rights to free slaves and dispatched 6,000 French soldiers. The Spanish, seizing this opportunity, invaded the island and were joined by the slaves in the midst of the revolution, who were in return given weapons, medicine, military advisors, and food. The National Convention fully recognized the threat that rebelling slaves posed against their colonies. They abolished slavery completely and granted civil and political rights to all black men. The Battle of Versailles, which occurred on the 18th of November 1803, was the closing factor of the Haitian Revolution. Having finally overthrown the white slave owners, the leader of the revolution, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, declared independence on the 1st of January 1804.
The Haitian Revolution had severe implications on the history of the world. First, although Haitians were successful in the rebellion, none of them were educated or fit to rule. Because of this and other causes such as natural disasters, Haiti became incredibly impoverished. The revolution destroyed much of the country, and Haiti had to pay many other countries just to gain recognition as an independent state. It was also the first nation in the New World to get rid of slavery. This set the precedent for many other nations to abolish slavery, including the United States. Although Haiti is severely impoverished, their slave revolt was revolutionary and shaped the modern world to see blacks as people and not property. It was also a wake-up call of sorts to slaves and slave owners everywhere, and was an important step in the ever-present battle for equality. It may seem that Haiti jumped out of the frying pan and into the fire by overthrowing their French overlords, and that may be true, but they also made incredible progress and shaped the world today.
3, 2, 1.
Unless you are the Mongols. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Shut up, Jerry.
Now calm down, Skeeter. He ain't hurting nobody. Now,